traffic stop on Virginia Avenue, and a man took off on foot. New Brighton police sent out a warning on Thursday to residents about the search for a black man with dreadlocks and a black hoodie. According to police, the suspect had outstanding warrants for aggravated assault. Do not approach the suspect and call 911 if you see him. Beaver County Radio News correspondent Sandy Giordano reports that a woman has an arrest warrant for an alleged burglary and criminal trespass on Wednesday. Police went to town towers at 434 Franklin Avenue, and the property manager told them that 30-year-old Ekalia Truss caused damage to the apartment and urinated all over it. Truss faces 1 felony charge and 2 misdemeanor charges after escaping arrest. If you know where Truss is, please call 724-378-8000. McKinney's Furniture and Mattress District will close the doors of its Monaca showroom permanently. The family-owned and operated business begins final liquidation on Saturday, February 15th. The lease was lost on the building, and the announcement was made by fourth-generation owner Greg McKinney. The locations for McKinney's Furniture in Calcutta and Salem, Ohio, will remain open. The inaugural Hearts of Fire Gala hosted by the Beaver County Cancer and Heart Association will take place at the Willows in Industry on February 22nd. The funds raised for this event will benefit residents in Beaver County with heart disease and cancer. You must wear formal clothes for this event. Doors open at 5 p.m. with the dinner starting at 7 p.m. It costs $150 for each attendee and $200 for couples to buy tickets. The link to purchase tickets can be found on our website at beavercountyradio.com. Governor Josh Shapiro filed a lawsuit Thursday challenging the Trump administration's unconstitutional freeze of federal funding. As of Thursday, state agencies will remain entirely unable to access $1.2 billion in federal funding. This includes an additional $900 million requiring an undefined review by federal agencies before it can be drawn down. Governor Shapiro is trying to legally protect Pennsylvania so agencies in the state can continue to improve the lives of Pennsylvanians. According to state regulators, officials announced that after testing samples of milk around the state, avian flu does not appear to be in the Pennsylvania dairy industry. The U.S. Department of Agriculture gave the word to state agriculture officials Thursday. However, officials say that avian flu has affected 6 flocks in Pennsylvania backyards and 6 flocks for commercial poultry in the state. Pennsylvania has no reported human cases at this time. President Donald Trump has repeatedly said Canada should be the 51st U.S. state, effectively erasing the massive border the two nations share. The very notion is ludicrous to Canadians, and the hurdles to transforming it into a state are sky high. Adding a new state usually requires an act of Congress, which means clearing the Senate's 60-vote support bar. The U.S. hasn't added a state since Hawaii in 1959. Canada would probably have to have a referendum to gauge voters' interest in joining the U.S. before more detailed aspects of the process could begin, and that looks to be a non-starter.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Mostly sunny today. We'll see a high near 30. Cloudy with a chance of snow tonight. Will drop down to a low around 25. Snow showers possibly mixed with rain tomorrow, then turning to all rain by the afternoon. Look for a high near 42 and a low around 37. And rain to start the day on Sunday, followed by a chance of a wintry mix. We'll reach a high near 47 and a low around 19. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
On this Friday, February 14th of 2025, at 9 minutes after 9, we've got a temperature of 19 degrees with partly cloudy skies here in Beaver County. That's a look at the news for now. I'm Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
Are you ready? It's time to find out what is on the mind of Eddy Crow. It's something to crow about on Beaver County Radio, 99.3 FM and 1230 WBVP. Now, here's the host of the show, Eddy Crow.
It is something to crow about, but it's a special edition of something to crow about. We got Valentine's Day sorted out. Well, we're gonna before it's over. Scott Tady is in the room.
Oh, here it is.
Regis Collins is in the room. First things first. It's always big news when we get sorted out what, when, how, and with the Maple Syrup Festival. And Regis, that's what you're here to sort us out. Scott, have your maple questions ready.
Well, Eddie, it is Valentine's Day, a time we stop and think about things like love, romance, and maple syrup.
Sticky sweet love. All right, how you doing, Regis?
I'm doing well. Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah. All right. What, when, how many sausages? You didn't change the sausages and get people bent out of shape or nothing. You learned, everybody learned, right?
We kept everything status quo.
Okay.
Prices haven't changed.
Wow.
So that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Eggs may go up, but pancakes stay the same.
Is there going to be a surcharge on eggs? That seems to be the theme.
We don't have.
All right.
Like I said. So the great thing is this year the festival will be taking place April 12th and 13th. It's a week earlier because of Easter Sunday falling on the third weekend of April.
I know I've interviewed people over the years. They always treat it like this is the beginning of spring. The Maple Syrup Festival, that's the first outdoor event they do after a long cooped up winter, and everyone just looks forward to it for that reason. Is that a sense you get? This is
that is
the kickoff.
We kind of kick off the tourism season, and like you said, it brings everyone out after cabin fever. It's a good opportunity to get out and come together for a meal.
Wow.
So,
How many years you been doing this?
we started prior to COVID, but COVID resulted in us having to suspend the operations for 3 years. This will be the 45th year of the festival taking place. So we've had 2 prior. This will be our 3rd year hosting.
By we, do you mean Push Beaver County? Or
Push Beaver County, yes.
Because one thing I really, really appreciate when you guys took over, you really amped up the musical portion. I mean, they always had music, but you guys, you were digging deep, and you're getting some really talented acts. I remember you had Pierce Dipner, the great young blues guitarist, one year. And
Before he was big.
And Eddie, Regis is a music fan. He sends me some great requests. At least once a week, I get a really good song request from you on the Beaver. But so talk about the challenge of finding the right musical acts for this.
So we're always trying to balance between the flavor, as it were, of the valley. Trying to suit everyone's desires. We're working with the county tourism office. There were recommendations for some bluegrass performers during the off season. Had the chance to meet the Honky Tonk Heroes.
Yeah.
So we've
The Tonys.
we've gotten the opportunity to go out to Jurgles and met some other musicians out there. So it's always great to bring those local acts in. And with your backyard, Beaver County, you and I have talked off the air about incorporating some of those performers into the festival rotation. So I'm still putting those together. I don't have a final lineup, but as they say, keep that hook out there so they keep coming back.
Well, the Honky Tonk Heroes there, you can count on the drummer coming out into the crowd and inviting someone to play drums with him. It's always a show-stopping moment when they do that, and that'll be fun to see at the Maple Syrup Festival.
Yeah.
Regis Collins is in the studio. Push Beaver County and the Maple Syrup Festival's coming up. It's the week before Easter this year. Scott Tady is in the studio. When you started bringing more music in, were there people saying, "Oh, we don't need that"? Was there pushback?
No, fortunately, it was
people
welcome.
dug it.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the people that you work with, organizers.
The biggest struggle is trying to find a balance between the different musical acts. It's always a challenge because because we're limited to daytime hours. So asking bands to perform in the morning, starting
Asking
at
them to wake up.
8:30 in the
Yes.
morning, especially on the weekend. If they've had a gig on Friday night, trying to get a band to come in Saturday morning at 8:30 is a tough sell.
All right, I'm gonna give me 5 bands. Any place in time, any history, the perfect for you, because I see the post that you and Tady go back and forth.
We're talking about Dawkins or Ronnie James Dio or someone.
Yeah. You got 5 bands. Forget about waking them up. Let's park the buses in the ample parking area. Who would Regis want to say, all right, I'm going to hang out all weekend just for the music? I'm curious. Tady, for that reason, because I see him send you stuff, and I'm like, wow, okay.
He's got good music taste.
Yeah.
That's a tough.
That's
a really
tough. Do they have to be alive? Can it be anyone?
No. Anyone alive or dead. You want to rock out the Beethoven? Rock out the Beethoven.
Going big, Led Zeppelin.
Oh, yeah.
Going
Yes.
big.
Yeah.
You know, Led Zeppelin, blues rock.
Yes.
You brought up Dio.
You're an event
Yeah.
organizer. You're worrying about the genres, even on your own personal bucket list. Okay. We stumped him.
Yeah,
Got
this
to
is-
get a country group. Got to get a. Who are we thinking? Or an artist?
Hank Williams.
Yeah.
Go big.
Yeah.
You know, Hank Williams.
won.
Yeah. You mentioned other country, Toby Keith.
Okay.
That it gives a little different flair. Steve Earle, Copperhead Road. Steve Earle, Copperhead Road.
Now, you know what? Do you know the song "I Ain't Never Satisfied"?
I don't
Check it
recall
out.
that one.
Steve Earle.
So,
St. Peter said, "Come in, boy. You're finally home." No, thank you. I'll just keep moving along.
okay.
I'll send you a copy of it. That's one of those Steve Earle deep cuts. So, how much more fun did the pancake breakfast become with the music for you personally? I know you got it going musically for people that show up, but for you.
So fortunately, I talked to the commissioners. And I told them, I said, I know it had always been focused on the pancake breakfast.
Sure.
And I said they had cloggers and they had accordion players and
vendors.
certainly nothing. Well, I'm talking as musical
Oh,
performance.
okay. All right.
And
All
I
right.
said I would like to rebrand the festival and bring in significantly more musical influence to the event. And so this year, we're going to have the traditional primary stage at the vendor circle or the lodge. And we're going to be utilizing the Four Season Lodge as an alternate location because one of the concerns the vendors had expressed is with bringing in Busy Bee production, he was able to get the volume up, and now it's been a challenge. The vendors are complaining that it's a little loud for them. So what we're going to do is for acoustic or vocalists, we're going to have them perform at the lower stage, and for those bands that are really kind of a little more vocal and
Unruly.
yeah, so we're going to move them up to the Four Season. The other thing is because we are moving it back a week, and the comment had been made by some of the musicians, their instruments fall out of tune with the cold weather.
Yes.
So by having the performers inside, opening those garage doors up and having their monitors outside, we're still going to have cover for the visitors because April's always a coin toss on what the weather's going to be like.
It's hit or miss. Can you tell if the musical acts being added helped, or is it too short a sample size after COVID?
I think it has helped.
Yeah.
We've a lot of times, like right now, I've got more performers volunteering to perform because that 1 hour of performance, often they bring their supporters and it gives the opportunity for Beaver County residents to come in and hear a band they may not have ever heard before. So I think it has seen an uptick in attendance because of the personal performers.
You mentioned cloggers. Little known fact: Eddy Crow is a clogger in his spare time.
Yeah, but when they called me that, they were talking about the pipes in the bathroom. It was not anything anybody wanted to see ever. How much is it?
So as always, it's free to attend the event.
Yes.
The event.
That's a great thing.
I'm Regis. How much is the sausage?
Oh.
Access to the sausage.
So the meal is general admission, $15 a head. For seniors and military first responder crowd, it's $12 and $10 for youth. And then additional drinks and sausage. I don't have that number in front of me.
That's okay. It's worth it. I sat last year, and Scott, I know you've done this, sat at one of the picnic tables inside, and I'm not ashamed to say it, I made 4 trips.
Do you still do the buckwheat pancakes as well as the regular pancakes?
We do. The great thing is working with the Beaver and Butler Farm Bureau, Wayne Harley has been instrumental in bringing a tractor down. They actually have a grist mill operating up on the hill behind the lodge, and we encourage visitors to go up and watch them. They will be milling both buckwheat, wheat, and cracked corn.
Yeah.
And those are what we use for the festival, and it's available for purchase.
Just a little different taste, the buckwheat. Some people
It gives a
ride or
little
die
bite.
with it, yeah.
Yeah.
And the balance between the buckwheat pancake and the sweet maple syrup is much more interesting to me than sweet pancakes. And you get a little bit of sweet and savory. It's not full-blown savory, but I didn't know I was going to be talking buckwheat pancakes coming in this morning.
And with talking that, the other benefit we did, the first year we came out of the gate, we offered gluten-free
Oh.
because for those that are sensitive, and we've seen a significant uptick. Last year, we actually almost doubled our production for gluten-free. And I had people during the off-season explain to me that they used to make pancakes beforehand that were gluten-free at home, put them in a Ziploc baggie, bring them to the festival so that they could enjoy
Nice.
the event with their family. I said, we got you.
Yeah.
We're going to take care of this. We're looking to make it as inclusive as possible. So, and talking inclusivity, for the event, pets are prohibited, although service animals are permitted on festival grounds during the time period of the festival.
Right.
We've had some folks that have attempted to bring personal pets in. The walking gate or the bridge is kind of the demarcation that people are welcome to go anywhere in the park, but during the festival at the grounds,
Right.
we ask that people leave their pets at home.
Do you get special dispensation if the dog's name is Pancake?
Ooh.
No?
No.
No, get over here. We don't care what your dog's name
So,
is.
and that being said, the other great thing is we met with the Boy Scouts of America last night and confirmed they will be attending for Scouting for Food. April is their month for food drive.
Excellent.
They'll be accepting food, Scouting for Food and Chow Wagon, and they'll be accepting non-perishable food items and pet foods and supplies at the festival, right where the bus shuttles that DJ Fry's company drops off, right at the walking bridge. The beauty is the county paved the parking area, so it's no longer going to be a mud hole. In prior years,
Did they? Yeah, no, I've stomped through it.
It's been beautiful. They paved everything, so as folks get out of the buses, we'll have the Scouting for Food trailer right there for them to receive food. And like I said, non-perishable for human consumption or for pets, because in these trying times, we're trying to take care of all of our community members.
It is I was going to ask, a maple syrup festival. Besides the syrup at the breakfast, can you also get syrup to take with you, to take home? And do they sell maple candy or anything like that? Or?
So
I
we do.
love maple candy.
Too.
So we worked out a deal with Rosalind's Candy. It's been a great experience. Working with them, we have maple creams available on site.
Ooh.
So that's a popular thing.
Yeah.
You'll see me in line there.
Those are the ones.
And then on the hill, up behind the lodge, we have the cotton candy and the popcorn, both flavored with our real maple syrup. It's a great experience. If anyone hasn't had the opportunity to go up on that hill, you can buy it by the single bag, or we've had one family come in and use a large, almost garbage bag.
Just say it, please. Just garbage bag. Garbage bag.
To purchase cotton candy. I mean, it's a great
I get
thing.
it.
And so we've got that.
Years ago, there was the drive-through. You could also drive through and get maple syrup.
So we've got lower sales for folks that are leaving the festival. The pavilion down near the walking bridge, they can purchase T-shirts and different merchandise and the various sizes of maple syrup. The half-gallon, quart, pint, and half pint. Trying to think of where else. The drive-through, that is up near the Four Seasons Lodge. So if for people that are simply limited or don't want to go into the actual festival, they can drive up and we will have it's actually a barn that's being donated by Scott Nail's company on Route 51 for the purposes of our sales location. So
My mom and dad have done that for years, do the drive-through.
yeah.
Hear that, Mom?
It's back again. Regis Collins is with us. Push Beaver County. It is back again. It's the Maple Syrup Festival. Please, before I forget, talk about the sponsors that make this possible with you.
So our premier sponsor this year is Shell. They have come across in a huge way, and we really appreciate their support on this. This has opened up opportunities that in prior years we only wanted to organize. So as a result of their sponsorship, we've put out requests to the Pennsylvania Agricultural Department for their food immersion. that trailer, if it's brought on site, and I'm still working out those details, but everything seems to be going forward. So they talk about the food generated by here in Pennsylvania. We've got such
Homegrown.
Yes.
Okay.
So everything from the wheat grown in the fields here to the orchards producing all the fruit here in Pennsylvania, and down to, especially because our big thing is it's the Maple Syrup Festival. So we're looking to do that. We've reached out to the Ohio River Sanitation Commission. They have a large tractor trailer aquarium. I'm waiting for confirmation of that, but I'm sharing it because we think that's going to come through.
What do you mean, like an aquarium to look at the fish or an aquarium to fish for the fish?
So what they do is they come in the week prior to the event.
Mm-hmm.
This tractor trailer is on site. They fill it with basically lake water.
Right.
And then they go out and they have teams that capture local aquatic lives.
Okay.
So anything from freshwater eels to large and smallmouth bass.
Catfish, brown.
Everything. And they stock that trailer aquarium, and then they have biologists on site that will actually explain the quality of the water and why it's important to protect our waterways, and both for recreation as well as for drinking water.
That is so cool.
So we're working with them.
So I'm going to accidentally get educated while I'm eating.
You may
I might.
trip into that opportunity. Mm-hmm. And then the last one that just this week that I sent the invite to is the Pennsylvania Woodsmobile. That is to talk about hardwoods being produced in Pennsylvania, and because of the tie-in with the maple syrup, it's a natural educational opportunity for us. So we're trying to bring that all together under this one festival, and there's no festival in Pennsylvania that I'm aware of. None, because I've been doing the research as I've been trying to get these to come. So Beaver County would be leading in these type of activities for education and benefit of our community.
And years past have been like reenactors too. You've had like Civil War reenactors. And
that cannon scares the crud out of me.
We do. We've got the Revolutionary War Fort Mac group, and we have the Civil War reenactment groups attending. In years past, as Eddy indicated, we try to advertise 10 and 2 o'clock is when those cannons will fire.
And they do.
Boom!
And so we're working with them. It seems as though all of the traditional activities are still coming back. The Scouts will be having a display on site it's kind of a Scout museum, as it were. One of the members, Mr. Jones, presents that, and it gives an opportunity for youth to talk to them about their scouting mission. We've been working with the Penn State Master Gardeners, the canoe trails, asking those organizations to basically have an elevator speech where on that lower stage at the festival grounds, they can get up and talk to the public about how they're involved in the county, and possibly for people that are interested, come and join those organizations. It's working with the waste management for Beaver County, Becca Neighbor and some of the others. They're looking at getting more involved in the festival and bringing that knowledge to the citizens.
We should probably mention, or getting to the festival, the parking and the shuttle bus situation. What's the way for people to get on the grounds?
So Route 51 is the most popular. Most folks come in from Route 51 near the ice arena. That is the first parking spot there. Going up through the valley, we have restricted parking at the horse arena. That is specifically for volunteers. Then we have the parking at the grounds themselves. That is for our vendors so that they can get easy access in and out to get their merchandise. Then right at where the lake is, we have a gravel parking lot there. Then we have up near the playground, right below where the 376 bridge crosses Brady's Run, that parking lot. And then the last one all the way at the back of the Brady's Run park near the dog park, for those that are familiar.
Okay.
So we've got a total of 6 parking lots. We identify those with signage, and we encourage people to utilize those. Those shuttles will be running frequently to bring them down to the festival. The handicap spots, whenever I mention the parking lot near the playground, we have designated handicap parking for approximately 30 cars. So for those that are going to require assistance, that shuttle is specific for wheelchair accessibility. They take them from the handicap parking lot straight down to the lodge, and we have assistants that will provide them access to go into the facility. They go right up to the table. There's no waiting for those individuals.
You guys have thought of everything.
We try. We've got high chairs available for those. Like I said, we're trying to encourage family. I think I bought 10 high chairs last year, trying to get, because it's such a tight with all the seating. We've got about 400 people. We try to fit in there for the
people
breakfast.
are coming in and out all day.
Yeah. And so trying to accommodate that. So we ask families to be understanding that if they would leave their strollers outside, that we have the high chairs for them to be able to place their little ones in.
This is, like Scott said, Regis, this is the cue that spring is here for a lot of people in Beaver County. With all the effort that goes into it, how important is it emotionally for Beaver County? Yeah, and we joke about, we get syrup and we get shows, but how much does this lift your heart when you watch the crowds?
Well, I can tell you, whenever there was talk that the Conservation District was going to have to let the festival go,
right,
I was approached, and because of my interests in keeping traditions going in the county, I had a number of individuals that knew that I, had moved back to the county.
You were the guy.
And they started asking, and I, with Matt Dawson, the treasurer for Push Beaver County, we went to our board after talking it over, and we talked to the board members and said, look, to keep this tradition going, we think we can do this. And this being our third year, I think we've grown each year successfully.
It has.
I did not want to overshoot. To your point, I didn't want to oversell and then underperform and have people upset. There's always going to be detractors. We've had folks, you mentioned the sausage. One of the things,
I was one of them. I was deeply hurt that I wasn't consulted when the sausage got changed.
So the beauty is for public health concerns, because part of my background with the federal government is doing public health. And I said, look, rather than risk people getting raw sausage or undercooked, we went with the manufacturer out of Aliquippa. So we brought it back to Beaver County, and Cecina Sausage met that requirement, and he's been working with us ever since. And it's the first year was a little rough. We had folks that didn't understand the fact that it was already pre-cooked. They overcooked it, and it was kind of a
you had to dial it in.
Yeah, and last year
it was dialed.
The great thing was my brother. He said, I'm an overgrown Boy Scout. He left Virginia. He lives in Williamsburg. He actually made the trip up for the weekend trip, and he functioned as my kitchen manager. And so that I attribute a lot of, his expertise in getting all those that were cooking the pancakes and the sausage to kind of get them dialed in to where it was a quality product. And, we did not experience the complaints that we did the first year.
I went through, how many times you go through last year, Scott?
I wasn't at last year's, but I covered that multiple times for the newspaper. And I would always go home with syrup. And one thing, once you eat that syrup, you never want to do the store-bought kind. You don't want to do the Aunt Jemima. You don't want to do, it just tastes like, it's just not nearly as good as that 100% pure maple syrup.
Yeah.
It's best.
And with the cold days, like your staff, when they let me in today, I said, who knew it'd be 18 degrees today? It was 47 yesterday.
Yeah.
But the beauty of it, that means production of sap is going on right now.
That's right.
And we will be placing our order for the sap, or the syrup, in fact, from the regional providers. And I'll be making the trip this year. I think we're going to come in around 800 gallons. So that supports not only the festival itself, but our retail sales. And if I could take a moment, so our retail sales,
absolutely,
we have it stocked at the ice arena. So
right up front,
Beaver County Ice Arena, year-round, they can go in there. We have it at Beaver Supermarket.
Okay.
We have it at the Agway in Bridgewater. We have it at the Farmers Market in Beaver Falls and Center Township, and Ambridge Do It Best. And we're working on...
That's where I've seen it at the Ambridge Do It Best.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's great is prior to the holidays, we saw a significant bump in retail sales. And so Georgia, who wasn't available for this morning, we were able to increase our deliveries during that Christmas ramp up. So I think it's, to your point, it's the real deal.
Craving it right now.
Great opportunity. And, it can't beat it.
No, and Scott, you weren't there last year. I covered your quota for sausage.
Well,
I kept getting back in line. It was spectacular. Regis, what do you want to let people know that we haven't talked about? The pancake breakfast, the maple syrup festival is back, baby.
Yeah, I guess the big thing is the dates. We
Yeah.
moved the dates. It's April 12th and 13th. The time is from 8:30 in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
So the shuttle's running. It's free to
The
attend.
shuttles never stop. The
They-
organizational skill set of DJ Fry, I watched last year, and there was never anybody standing for more than like 3 minutes before the next shuttle showed up.
Yeah, and DJ has brought a level of professionalism. He brought the drivers down 2 weeks before the festival and ensured that all of them knew the route and knew where those drop-off points were. And we talked about if a missing child were to occur. We talked about those protocols. We talked about inclement weather, about what to do. So yeah, I think we've got it covered. It's
well, when you're ready to announce that musical lineup, I know a guy who has a radio show would be happy to get the exclusive. So
okay.
we'll have you on there if you'd like, and maybe you can even just leak a few bands at a time, maybe whatever you want to do. But
Sure.
That's right,
we look
milk
forward to-
it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's exactly. Regis, thank you for doing this, for what you do and push Beaver County. And this is an event that, to me, all right, spring's around the corner, and I'm going to grub for about 4 hours.
We couldn't do it without the community support and getting this opportunity to come on the air and talk about it. It's been immensely successful because of the support we receive from the community.
Anytime you want to come on, you can come on, right?
Yeah.
Argue about music. Not argue, discuss.
Yeah.
Discuss. We'll close with this, because as soon as we're done, the time machine, the Valentine's Day time machine, with lots of fabulous prizes, will start. Off the top of your head, the greatest love song of all time. It can be from a movie, it can be from a TV show, it can be from anywhere. Best love song of all time.
Wow, that's putting me
You're
on the
deep
spot.
enough with this. I should have said the worst, but okay. Let's. Regis Collins,
Worst?
best.
Jay Giles.
Love stinks.
Love stinks.
I played that this morning.
That's an easy one.
Okay. To you, you're going to impress that special someone, or you're courting and you think this is the song. I can't believe we've stumped you, man.
That's tough. There's so many out there.
You know what? It's an excuse for you to come back.
It is.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think back to the 80s.
This
what
is-
it?
this is
always,
being live-
Always and forever, I think, maybe.
Always
That's
and forever.
It sounds better when
Me
we're
and
not
Tady,
singing it.
yeah, me and Tady just killed it. Come back anytime. We will see you absolutely at the Maple Syrup Festival.
Thank you.
And thank you, Regis, for making the Maple Syrup Festival happen and push Beaver County and all the usual suspects. DJ Fry and the cleanest buses in town.
The 45th annual